y'all, it's your girl Apolonia Cross. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys my wellness planning system and my devotional system, and just kind of give you guys some ideas on what I like to do when I can fully relax, because lately it's been a little different with my littles not necessarily sleeping and giving me long times to myself. So I work with it, but I want to give you like the full idea of how this works and how you can start incorporating a wellness routine into your system. So if this is something you're interested in, then stick with me in the video. And I can't wait to show you guys. And also don't forget to hit that subscribe button. All right, you guys. So one of the very first things that I like to do is I like to get a candle. And this candle is a nice scented candle that I got from Kohl's with my Kohl's cash. Just keeping it real. But I really love it, and I love that it has like the different scents. So this one, it says eucalyptus and bergamot. Have no clue what that is, but it smells good, and it helps you with staying calm. So especially when you are starting a wellness journey, or if you're wanting to improve your wellness and your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, more than likely you're feeling pretty like overwhelmed and anxious. So lighting a candle, especially that one, gives you a nice good aroma into the room, and maybe throw on some music, which is another thing that I really love to do. One of my favorite stations is to listen to like Marva Sapp radio or just some yoga music. Just depends on kind of my mood, but still lighting that candle and setting that tone really helps stay calm. So this one I really like, and you can find and use whatever candle, but I always try to pick a candle that has an intention and obviously helps me get into the vibe and the mood that I'm trying to feel. So if you're interested in that, check those out. They have them at Kohl's, but I'm also going to get started into making some different candles. So yeah, that'll be fun. I was going to show you guys and actually light this one, but it's like, look, I use this bad boy. So that is that. And now let's go ahead and get into my wellness planner and also my faith journal. Now, this journal is just a simple $5 journal that I got from Walmart. Nothing really magnanimous about it. It's just really cute and pretty, and I like florals. But I just originally got it for my niece, and then I was like, well, it's cute, so I'm going to keep it for myself. But there's really no stickers in it. Absolutely none. But there are some highlighting points, and how I like to use this. So this was from this morning's devotional and prayer, but that's what I really love to do is I'll go to like a blank page and I take a highlighter and a pen, and I like to pull up a devotional either from audiobooks or also from the Bible app, which that one I really love doing. They put a random daily devotional on there, and you can click on it, and it's kind of like going through your Instagram stories, and they have the devotional, they have the scripture, and then they also have like a pastor speak. And it's just really great. And what I like to do with that is I'll write down the scripture, and then I'll also listen to the audio, and then whatever takeaways I get from that, I'll write that down. And sometimes it's just like quick, and other times I've done like 4 pages. So like for today's, this was yesterday's, so it was just like, you know, small takeaways and things. And then the other days, like, yeah, today was a lot. It was compared to the others, it was 3 pages worth. And so that's why I chose a simple journal versus a faith planner, like some of you guys have seen from the Happy Planner. I just prefer to have that free for all, and to be able to let my spirit and God speak through me what my biggest takeaways are. And sometimes it's going to need to be a lot more than those little boxes. So this is why I chose a simple journal. And I just, like I said, I like to keep this very intentional. And so decorating and all that is not a big thing for me. But if you wanted to, or if I felt wild or something and I wanted to, you can totally pre-decorate some pages or have a couple stickers and add them like on the side or whatever. It's totally up to you. This is just my preference. And so you kind of gotta, especially when it comes to this, I would recommend a simple journal like this too, and just kind of see how your flow and everything goes with it. And then if you feel that you need some stickers or some, maybe even some washi or just more than one highlighter to really get you going with your faith journaling, then do that. Otherwise, you know, if you need something like more creative and decorative, because that is a part of your spiritual journey, then go ahead and grab you the faith planner. It's up to you, but this is just my system and I actually really enjoy it. It's one of my favorite things to do in the morning. And I've actually been spending a lot more time doing this than my physical workouts, because I just have not been really connected with physically working out lately, but totally my soul and everything inside of me, for the longest time, God has been telling me, like, I need to slow down. But you already know how it goes when you know what you're supposed to do, you hear what you're supposed to do, and you just don't want to do it, and you fight it and fight it and fight it until God finally sits your butt down and says, you gonna sit down and we need to work. So that is why I finally got the faith journal and love it so far. So definitely that is where I am at, and which is a part of your health and wellness journey, because your health and wellness is not just about weight loss, and it's also not just about being in shape or all the physical aspects. The biggest part of your health and wellness journey is making sure that your mindset and your spirituality is connected to, which will give you your why, your purpose for getting in shape. That is the 1000% truth that just about every health and fitness person, all of that, they don't focus on that. That's the part that you have to discover yourself. So I'm gonna do y'all a favor and I'm gonna tell you that. And that is what I focus on in my wellness planning course, is getting down to that root, because otherwise what happens? You fall off. And then you don't know why, and then you're beating yourself up and all that because you did not do the mental and emotional, spiritual work first to prepare you to start putting your body through the transformation. You got to change your mind, sis, first. Work on the mind and the spiritual and your purpose and your why first. And then you can get to getting that snatch back, okay? All right, so let's dive into my actual wellness planner. And so you guys can see this. Now let me move my flowers just a little bit so you guys can see this fully. All right, so this I am using because I didn't really use my Stargazer 2020 planner much last year. This year was just a crazy, 2020 was a crazy year. So I kind of fell off of using this a lot and was feeling really lost in how to even use it and stuff, so I stopped. But the great thing about how I use this planner and how I'm going to show you guys is you don't have to have a dated planner. You can totally get an undated planner, or you can get a clearance planner that's already dated and just like covered up. Totally up to you. The dates are not needed for this purpose. Okay, so that's great. But I chose this one because obviously I already had it, but I also, for wellness, you have so much magic within you. Like, that speaks on so many levels, and that connects with your four corners of wellness, which is your mental, emotional, and spiritual health, that leaves you to getting the results that you want to change physically as well. So all of that has to start within. So I really, really love that, and especially for wellness. Now, this is my wellness, my self-care routine that I have made like a year ago or so. And there's some things I wanted to update, but this is something that you can do too. Just create like a general self-care routine on here for the morning time, the evening time. And it's always great to aspire to achieve these things on a daily basis to help you build in that habit. But sometimes life is not going to be perfect, especially when you have little kids. Just depending on nighttime routine, if your kids are sleeping through the night. Like, I have a 2-year-old and a 4-month-old. So my morning routine is always just different. So is night. So you have to practice bless and release on what you can do, what you can't. So you can also use this as just like a guideline on some key things that you would like to do, and choose one that you are going to do for that day, and then the next day change it up. So this way you're still fulfilling and practicing self-care on a daily basis, but you're also not feeling that guilt if you don't get all the things done. And this is daily habits. Like I said, I made this a while ago, so I'm probably going to go ahead and update this, and I just didn't. Productivity, effectiveness, and growth has been very sparse, or not sparse, but sporadic. I haven't came up with like a consistent routine, but I'm working on it. Life with little ones, it's not as consistent. And then obviously with COVID, y'all, it just completely changed. So this was a sheet that I had also from the wellness pack, I believe. And this is really great. You can use whatever you want, but just, I love this because it's like a brain dump. And I really like to, like, I'm one of the type of people who likes to take a question and then ask another question and ask another question and then keep breaking it down as much as I possibly can to get to the root of things. And so I love how this is set up. And you can do that too, to kind of just reconnect and really get down to the deep things. And then this, I also too love that that it has you write like a love letter to yourself. So that way, whenever I'm feeling really down or upset, I just kind of can refer back to that. And like I said, I made this about a couple years ago, and it's funny how it's still kind of relevant. So that's why I haven't redone it, because I wrote this letter, and you can use whatever page you want to, but you can write a letter to yourself, like to your, like from your future self to your current self, to remind you to keep going and why you're doing this and all of that. And just that, and it's always going to stay with you. It doesn't have to change, because remember, you're speaking from your future most higher self that you're trying to get to, and you're writing to where you're currently at. So that's a great practice. And I love, whether it's a wellness planner, business planner, goals planner, it's a great exercise and practice to do. And this, I had created like a postpartum breakdown of my wins and then things that I needed to improve on when I went back to working out right after I had the baby. And that, like, I did great, and I was grateful that I got back into my workout routine and everything. But what I realized is my body needed to rest. I needed to rest mentally. Everything just needed to rest and slow down. So that's why I chose to just forego physical exercise right now and work on the inner work. Because like, if you guys have little ones, you guys know, like, you don't get much sleep and everything. So I was waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning to get my work on it, which was my normal routine beforehand. But that was before barely getting maybe a total combined of 3 hours of sleep, on top of waking up, on top of distance learning, on top of staying awake all day. And I stayed consistent with my workout routine for about 6 weeks. And then I just said, no more, and that's okay. That's just the current season that I'm in. So this is why it's important. You got to check in with yourself and really see like what you need to check in with yourself, and just more notes. But like, I feel like it's so important to have that conversation with yourself, to really break things down first, to really figure out where you're at and start working on the key factors from where you're at right now to help you get to where you want to be. Because otherwise, you're just always going to shoot in the dark, and you're never going to be consistent or have a purpose. So I did a video, let me move this real quick, I'll talk about this later, but I did a video on this on my channel already to show you guys how to use my wellness planning worksheet, or my self-care, I forgot what I called it. But yeah, if you guys want to understand more of how I used these from my worksheet and get the printable, check out the other video. I'll make sure to post that down below in the comments for you guys. But this, like I said, I focus on the main 4 corners of wellness: mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health. And you go through a couple of journaling exercises, and then also pinpoint some focus areas that you want to improve on. So instead of using this for November, I did do it in November, but like I said, you don't have to use a dated planner. Obviously, there's no dates on this. I'm using this section as a way for me to set the tone for the rest of the year or time frame that I'm going to be using this planner. So this is just like my key focus is things that I'm going to work on. And so you can focus on one thing that I really love about these sheets, and why I created it this way, is you can choose to focus on one wellness area per quarter, per per month, per week, however you want to do it, you can totally do that. But I totally recommend choosing your focus and starting with hitting one really, really hard for at least a quarter, 3 months or so. So that way you can build that into a habit, then add on to the next one, build that into a habit, encompass it with the other one, and keep going, because it's just going to help you grow a lot more. So if you, like I said, check the comments in the bottom if you want to see that. And then here I just break it down even more. Whoops, let me move this sticky note. I love to use sticky notes to remind me on why I'm using certain things, because I always forget. Like, mom brain is real after you've had 4 kids, okay? So it's real already, but every kid, it's, yeah. So this is also the monthly section, and why I love the monthly section is because it's like a master brain dump. If you have goals, if you're a very goal-driven person, then that's probably why you're using a monthly one, or you need to be using one. But I really love it too for this purpose, because you can help figure out your master plan and also track your progress for your wellness plan or whatever plan. But like I said, I'm using it for wellness. So these are my 4 focuses all here. My number 1 thing that I'm going to work on, another little letter that I wrote to myself, and I dated it on when I wanted to focus, so I can refer back to this at November of next year. So this was great. I haven't, because I don't know what I'm going to do with these sheets. We'll see. Maybe it'll be like a quarterly review, since there's 4. Yeah, maybe. And this was, like I said, I very lightly use this, so you guys, I can cover this up with a sticker. I'm not even worried about that. So this can be a sticker or something inspirational, and then I can use the blank spots to write it. So that's one great thing about a planner that you have lightly used, because you can just cover things up with a sticker or paper, whatever you want, and then repurpose it. Totally repurpose it. So, all right. So now I'm going to show you guys my monthly section on what I'm using it. And we are in the month of December. And like I said, I like to let it out of my brain, and then my 2-year-old likes to try to color. But this is the December spread, and this is my fitness planner. So as you guys can see, it's not, look, that's what's written in here, that's all, because this has not been my main focus. But it doesn't mean that it won't be reincorporated down the road when I'm mentally and emotionally and spiritually ready to take on that physical transformation for myself once again. Then that's when I will go ahead and add that on. So I like to keep a mini in here, so that way it fits in here very nicely. I can decorate, you know, the monthly spread as needed, but I'm finding that I like to actually use this as more, I'll probably put like some dots or something, but I'll probably want to use this just to kind of write like one big win or a self-care action that I intentionally did for the day. And that way it can keep like a record for me on a daily basis. And then obviously with this fitness, this would be where I would keep my workout routine that I'm working on, and go on a weekly basis, track my meals and stuff like that. So that will more than likely be filmed in a separate video. But it's nice to have this as a mini version in here, because you can set your entire planner up and put each of these in there. And so that way you have one specific planner for all the areas of your wellness. At least the 4 corners is your mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical health. And so for this monthly section, I didn't really, like I said, I've been sporadically getting in here, but for sure by the end of the month I'll probably have this filled out. But I have my journaling practice, which I actually need to check off. Like, I always forget to check these off, but I've been pretty consistent for the most part. And I did do journaling, I did do affirmation. Like, I have the dates here, which I'll show you guys, but I'll check that off later. But again, you have the monthly sheet, so you can kind of reflect what you're going to focus on, write some notes, key check off points, or just, you know, you got quite a bit of space to set goals and decoration stuff. And then this, like I said, there's nothing really amazingly pretty about this. I use this very, very, very intentionally. And for this section with the list, I like to write down, just list down different things that I'm grateful for that happened for that day. And now this is a great way to practice gratitude every single day. And you can just do a simple list. It could be, I used to try to journal it all out, but then that got exhausting. And so what I found that I'm liking to do is just remember and write down the little things that happened for the day. So on Sunday, for example, we found Disney ornaments to put on the Christmas tree from the Disney store. And that was one thing I was really happy and grateful for, because every Christmas we've gone to Disneyland these past couple years. And so we were planning to make that a tradition, an annual tradition. And we go to the Disney parks so we can also get a Christmas ornament and bring it back home to add on to the Christmas tree. But due to COVID, Disneyland's still closed. So we did basically the same action, but with what we could do, which was the Disney store. So that worked out. We still have yet to put it on the tree yet, but still smelling my daughter's hair. I don't know why, guys. I don't. I'm sure I'm not the only one who loves to smell their baby's hair after the shower, or if you put conditioner or whatever in it. I just love it, and it just makes me happy, and then I'm grateful for, because it's, I mean, your kids, I don't know, like, I'm just grateful to have that special moment with her, and being able to talk to my husband about finances and him understand versus getting frustrated or mad. So that's why I like to do the small daily things, because they're not ridiculously huge, amazing things I'm grateful for, and they're not the basics of food and all that, because I am grateful for those things. But this is a great way for me too to kind of remember the day, because our days run together and I forget. And so writing down the simple things that happen specifically on that day that I'm happy for and grateful for helps me remember the day, and also helps me remember to focus on the gratitude of that day. So I just dated these for the rest of the month, and that's how I'm going to continue to use this. And then this is going to be a good section for me to just reflect on the month, maybe like the end of the month or on New Year's Eve. Ooh, that would be fun. So on New Year's Eve, probably come in and light a candle, probably that morning or New Year's Day. I don't know, whatever. But come in, light a candle, and just write what I felt was great about this month. So yeah, this is my gratitude section for the most part. And then here is my section. Like, I don't have any tabs or anything, because I'm still kind of just filling this out and using it. So once I can completely am happy with how I'm using it, then I'll go ahead and add some tabs. But I added a reading log sheet, and this is from Fancy Plants Co. And this was a printable, but you can also get it sent to you. But so this way I can write down which audiobooks I'm reading to grow my mindset, whether it's a self-help book or a spiritual book, whichever. I can remember which, let me check this off. I can remember which chapter I left off on, and if I stopped in between the middle of a chapter because of my kids, I can just write down the time here and write down the date. So I really love this, so I can track that on here and refer back to it. And then what I did too is I just like to add different pages, just blank pages, and as I read a chapter, have notes here for me to write down any takeaways. And this is so huge, because not only am I just reading this book, but I'm also practicing what it is that I'm learning from the book and highlighting those key points. And this is a part of that mental growth and emotional and spiritual, because like I said, it's all connected. All of it is connected. So being able to read a book that is like where I'm at, and that will help me where I'm at right now, and learning how to apply it and grow from it is great. And like I said, same type of system as my devotional is pen and a highlighter. That's all you need. That's it. Don't need the fancy stickers, which you can use if you want to, but if you're like serious about like, I just want to learn and grow as much as I can and understand you're in that receiving and abundance growth mindset, then I highly recommend ditch the stickers and go completely functional, y'all. So quite a bit of pages for that. We'll see if that ends up, I don't know if this may or may not last me, but that's another reason why I wanted to just keep it really simple and just add more pages. Now this is my affirmation section. And what I like to do with this is I will pull an affirmation card. And for December, I'm using these affirmation cards by my girl, Nyasha. And she is amazing. She is a, I forgot what her title is, and I totally don't want to butcher it, but she's an author, and also she is a life coach. I know that too. Life coach and women empowerment coach. And so she came out with her own journaling cards as well as a book. So let me just give her little, that you can get this deck of journaling cards, and you can also get her book too. It's called Girl, Get Out of Your Way, Breaking Free to Get and Stay on Track, which this is available on Amazon is where I got it. And then these journaling cards you can get from her website. I'll have to make sure I link that on here. And I think she's updated it. I know she's updated her book, and she may have updated her journaling cards and stuff too. But these are the ones that I'm currently using for this month. But just how this works is I love to pull a journaling card, and then whatever it says, I'll write the affirmation, not a journaling card, affirmation card, my bad. So I love to pull an affirmation card, read it and write down what it says, and then write down my takeaways and thoughts on what this means to me, how this applies, how I am enough, how I am worthy, all those things. And so it's reaffirming and helping me switch my limiting beliefs into the possibilities. So love using affirmation cards. Love, love, love them. And a lot of people, some people are like kind of iffy about, spiritual health compared to faith planning. Y'all, my personal opinion, it's all the same type of teaching, except one, you're talking specifics, God, Jesus, the apostles, all of that. Whereas the other one, it is a lot more of your self-empowerment. But in my mind, they work together. How I look at it is just like when Jesus spoke in parables. He had to speak to people where they were at in the stories versus give it to them very directly and say God and Jesus. So that way they can understand it and hear the story and then want to come to him for more learning and growth. So that is my take on spirituality and faith planning. You do with it however you wish to, but that, like I said, you guys see me, I do both because it all is connected, and God will help you and meet you where you're at, but you also got to help yourself and meet him where he wants you to be too. So you got to, y'all got to work, it's working together. He does, you do. You do, he does. Like, it works together. So this was from today's affirmation card was, I am free from limiting beliefs. So when I pull a card, write that down. Like I said, I write down whatever I'm feeling based off of that, and then do an exercise or something to help me brain dump. And like, this is the limiting beliefs. These are the things that are like those demons and those negatives that are attacking me. You can do the same, anything that's attacking to you on the limiting beliefs, and then write down on the opposite side the truth and the realities of why that is, those limiting beliefs are not true. And that's why I put on here God's truth, and I wrote down what those things, what scripture says, what God really is, and all that. And so that way, this is what you take with you, this is what you work to ditch. And I love it so far. Loving this, loving it. Okay, and so this, in that section, is all just for December, because like I said, I really, really want to hone in and focus and build my wellness planner to help me grow in that aspect. And so I definitely encourage you guys to do the same. These are just some extra kind of pages, and there's some more blank reading logs. And here is the rest of the year. So let me just kind of do a little quick flip through. Oh, just more note pages in case I want to write some more. And this was January's of last year. See, you guys, I didn't really, I decorated it, but other than that, I didn't really do nothing with it. So what was the point of me wasting it? So I can just add whatever other decoration. And then another fitness planner there. So this is blank and has some decoration. So we'll see how this works. And see, like this stuff, this can all get like covered up. But again, personal development, daily gratitude, Bible scripture. See, you can totally repurpose. If this is what you have, an old planner that kind of looks like lightly used, girl, do not buy you another planner. Just, you know, repurpose and figure it out. Okay. And here is a completely fully decorated spread. Now, let me just kind of show you guys this, because I did completely decorate this in February of last year. And these were some daily exercises that I was focusing on. And I really love, this is how you can use it for that purpose. Here's the dots, and this, you can do like a 30-day challenge or what have you, and put in a sticker there, and then you can check it off whenever you do it. Like this one, the challenge was to get outside, and I did, so I checked it off. The challenge was to go for a walk, I did, so I checked it off. And you could do this as much as you want to, or however you want to, but I really love using it for this, because look, you don't have to worry about it being dated. You don't have to worry about it being in order. And if you decide to repurpose this, like say if you're like, I want to do this one, you could just pull this out and do what I did and add some extra journaling pages, and then use this as your challenge tracker, and then write in the blank pages what how it felt when you did this exercise or whatever. It's just complete freedom and to really get connected. And here is another one too. This is my wellness challenge that I made. And so some pages I did a lot of writing, so I'm just not going to use those pages, which hence I have the blank ones like this. I can just kind of pop in and add whatever color or whatever to it. So yeah, that is the gist of it. I just have, just more. Yeah, it's the same thing, and how I'm going to use it though is going to be the same. So let me, oops, I forgot to put this back. Let me put this back real quick, so that way I don't forget it. But yeah, you guys, that is how I am using this and my wellness planner setup for my 4-corner of wellness focus. So I hope that gave you guys some inspiration with starting your own wellness journey. And don't forget, if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And thank you again, you guys, for watching. I can't wait to catch you guys on the next video. Bye.